Welcome to Jesus Christ Prison Ministry and another video Bible study. Our topic, the book of John, the denial, part 5. This is based on John 18, verses 24 through 32. Then Annas sent him with his hands tied to Caiaphas the high priest. Yes, let us make sure we tie his hands in order to demonstrate what a criminal Jesus is. After all, the show is far more important than the truth, right? His hands are tied. He must be a criminal. Men in handcuffs are shown in the media, and therefore they must be criminals, right? A person levels a charge and a complaint against another, and it must be true, right? Innocent till proven guilty is no longer truth. Justice and truth have been completely swept away in the world by the media, the left, mob rule, and innuendos. Meanwhile, Simon Peter was standing and warming himself. Some people asked him, "You aren't one of his disciples too, are you?" He denied it by saying, "I am not." Are you out confessing your relationship with Jesus? Or are you denying your Lord by sitting in a warm church? How have you confessed your faith lately? Do you share with people your love of Jesus? Or do you just throw out some cute quips, thinking you are fulfilling your duty? Then one of the high priests, a servant, a relative of the man whose ear Peter had cut off, said, "I saw you in the garden with Jesus, didn't I?" Peter again denied it, and immediately a rooster crowed. I wonder how long the rooster will have to crow in our lives before we wake up and realize how often we have been denying Jesus in our lives. If we don't wake up soon, the rooster will stop crowing. The sun will rise, and we will be lost. Then Jesus was led from Caiaphas to the governor's headquarters early in the morning. The Jews did not go into the headquarters to avoid becoming unclean and unable to eat the Passover meal. Okay, I understand. We have church to get to. We don't want to get our Sabbath best dirty, now do we? Yes, going to church with a dirty, sin-sick soul is much easier to hide than a dirty pair of clothes or a car. Let us go through our ceremonial washings and cleansings so we can be accepted at church. But let us not worry about our dirty characters. Be sure you keep your eyes straight ahead when driving so you don't see the homeless, hungry, and naked along the side of the road. Better step on the gas so we get to church on time. We don't want to miss what the pastor has to say. So Pilate came out to them and asked, "What accusations are you bringing against this man?" Ouch! Pilate, that is not fair. You are not supposed to ask that question of the leaders of the church. When the church brings you a man tied up and condemned, you are supposed to play the game and wave your hand over the problem and let us clean the dirt out of our church. How dare the civil government look too closely into our church activities? When the church organization picked a candidate for office, don't ask questions, just put him in. When the church board picks a person out of the congregation is just to accept it. They answered him, "If he weren't a criminal, we wouldn't have handed him over to you." Pilate, just stop bothering yourself with justice and all that nonsense and let us handle it. We say he is a criminal. He's a criminal. Now give us the right to handle it according to our church policy. Pilate told them, "You take him and try him according to your law." The Jews told him, "It is not legal for us to put anyone to death." "Oh, thank you, Pilate. That is exactly what we want. But since we can't put this very terrible terrorist to death, we just need you to sign off on our judgment." This was to fulfill what Jesus had said when he indicated the kind of death he was to die. Pilate wasn't dumb. In fact, he was well aware of Jewish law. For the church to condemn a person to death, there was really only one reason for that. And he was well aware of the hatred the church had for Jesus. After all, like himself, they were afraid of anyone coming along who might take their power and authority away from them. So for them to want to kill Jesus, he had to be a king. To be continued. Thank you for joining JCPM and Jesus Christ for another video Bible study.